Hello, in this video I want to show you how to make your background of your Google slide a fixed image. And the reason why that's important for me is that I'm working with students remotely, and I'm finding out that when I give them an assignment such as this, where I want them interacting with a graph, I want them answering questions that are inside a text box, it's not always obvious for students where to type. Then another problem is they try to interact with the graph and they end up, stretching it or pivoting it, and it just causes a lot of problems. So how I get around that is I want to make a static picture of this slide. And I do that by up at the top where it says File, I'm going to download this particular slide as a PNG image. I just tend to use the PNG. I think it has a good quality. And so this just dropped into my downloads area. And I do the same thing for my next frame. And I'm going to, again, File, Download as a PNG. Now you'll notice I have a couple of blank slides here. So I go to my first blank slide, and I'm going to change the background by choosing the first picture that was downloaded. It goes to the downloads area of my computer. I'm going to select the one that I downloaded first. Give it a second to appear on the Google slide deck, and then you can hit done. And now you see that this is a fixed image that cannot be manipulated. So I can now delete this particular frame. And then I want to get this one. So I'm going to go ahead, change my background. And again, this is a fixed image. That's a fixed image. This is the one that I want to delete. All right, so now that we've done that, I've got my prompt where it's the parallel and then the perpendicular. All of these text boxes are going to be the same, but I don't want students to have to find the text box. That's just more for them to have to deal with than they should have to deal with at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a text box. And I'm going to change my size to maybe 24 points. And I'm going to make it Arial. I'm also going to change the color to something that shows up instead of black. And the last thing I'm going to do on my text box is I'm going to go over here to the border weight and make it 1 point weight. And I will maybe choose something that's a little bit darker than black there. And so now I have a clear text box that students know they're going to type their answer in right there. In fact, I'm going to copy this, Command C. I'm using a Mac, or Control C if you're using a PC, and then Command V or Control V, and I'm going to paste it right down here. And in fact, I'm also going to paste it here. But I want to change the size of this one because they don't have a lot of work to show for this. And now that I've done that, I'll copy it right here. Now, double check, everything looks pretty good. I'm going to click on that one, and now I'm going to shift, click, shift, click, shift, click. Now copy those. And on my other frame, just paste that right down. So that makes it easy. So I didn't have to do it more than once. And the students, again, will be able to click right there and type in their answer. Now, for me, one other thing that I like to do is some students like to think graphically. This is not a Jamboard, so it doesn't have like a virtual pen that they can operate with, but I do want them to be able to graph a point whose coordinates are -3, 1 in this case. So what I've done is I already have my shapes that I think will be helpful for students, and that was just ready to go. So I'm going to Command C. And now I'm going to Command V and drop those shapes right here. So students would be able to see, oh, this is a point. I can drag it up here to -3, 1. And then once they know their slope, they can drag their other point up, and then they can drag their lines on. And that just makes it easier for them again. And I'll paste the same exact pictures on this other frame. So hopefully that helped you get some ideas for fixing your background image of your Google slide deck.